That's just a third
I had to
level.
clear that up.
Fucking potholes, man, they're brutal right now.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
congratulations to Mike.
Mike Huckabee.
Man, there's some real bad potholes right now.
This is a big
Bad,
one.
bad,
As
like
you've
horrible
consistently
bad.
identified, restoring our maritime dominance as a nation is very important, from shipbuilding to having a merchant marine. that's
Like,
capable
subscribe,
of
share, by the
supporting
way, hit
American,
thumbs up.
Military efforts really up and down the line. Restoring maritime dominance has been a priority of this administration. This executive order, which was prepared primarily by your National Security Council staff and National Security Advisor Waltz, has a number of very significant policy steps, all aimed at restoring American maritime dominance and ensuring that we have the shipbuilding capacity and ability to compete globally both militarily.
Oh yeah, let's build them ships again.
And that could be a good one for Michigan too, because we're gonna be spending a lot of money on shipbuilding. We're way, way, way behind. We used to build a ship a day, and now we don't do a ship a year practically, and we have the
It's crazy.
capacity to do it, so we'll talk to you about that. Okay, Matt? We'll think about that. That's a natural.
Use the camera.
Okay, shipbuilding. That's a good one.
Well, yeah, we're building ships again in America now.
Thank
Let's
you,
build
sir.
cars in
The
America
next executive
too,
order
like
relates to
the
defense
futuristic
procurement. Apart defense
70 to
procurement
72
processes been
Chevelle,
criticized,
and let's
by
bring
many
back
folks
the
on
third
both
gen
sides.
Camaro.
It's been too slow,
Let's do a
too slow
Pontiac
to adapt
GTO
to new
also.
and changing technologies, not delivering the sorts of weapons and systems that our warfighters need in order to compete on the battlefields of the future. So with this executive order,
What's
we're
up,
going to be
Rascal? Up to
modernizing
no good. How you
procurement
doing today?
structures,
What's
Department of Defense
up?
uses, to allow it to more quickly adapt to changing circumstances around the world. And we're also going to be launching.
How you
a
doing
review
today?
of
Thank you for the
existing
comment,
procurement
Rascal. Up to no
programs to
good.
ensure that we're getting value for the money, and to ensure that we're getting the best possible systems in the field.
And which are currently horrible. I tell you, they're horrible. That
Yeah, they
process is ridiculous, what they do. They get the highest price and not even good-looking equipment. And we're changing it, we're gonna change it to the best, so, this is very, very important.
Man, these fucking potholes. What the fuck?
You wanna say hello to Brooke? Well, look at Brooke, she got
These
the press
potholes are
down
brutal right now.
87%, Governor, we
Oh
have.
my god, those
we have
big ass
somebody
potholes
that's
there.
done a
Holy
great
shit,
job
these are
at
some fucking
Department
giant.
of Agriculture.
Holy shit, these
Sister
fucking
Noel,
potholes are
who
brutal.
Perhaps a few of you have heard of. She has done the most unbelievable job as somebody that's watching over our country at the border, and with Tom Holman and your whole staff of tremendous people. So thank you. Who would think that she is like meant for that job, huh? She's meant for it. So I just saw you there, Bo. Thank you very much. Okay. We'll do it later, please.
Thank you, sir.
Man, look at these potholes
Lastly,
up
in the
here.
defense space,
Man,
one
look at how
persistent issue
nasty that
we've had,
is.
in terms of the
Absolutely
issue of foreign
nasty,
defense
those
sales,
craters.
that we're unable to provide weapon systems in a
Those are
reliable,
nasty
effective
craters.
way to key allies.
We all
of
need to
ours.
do a
And the
class
key
action
driver of
lawsuit
that,
against the city of
is
Chicago for
inefficiencies
fucking
and
up our
inconsistencies
suspension.
with the process by which we
Let me pause Trump for 1 second. They could spend fucking, how much money does Chicago spend? Hang on, let's look this up real quick. Hold on. Wait a second. I want to know how much fucking, God. Look at that, these puddles are so big it knocked my, oh my God, ow, did you hear that one? And it's unavoidable because there's cars parked here. And there's a guy driving on my left, so I can't swerve to the right, I can't swerve to the left. That shit was unavoidable. Did you hear that one? It hit so hard it made the fucking camera fall. How much money did the city of Chicago spend on immigrants for 2024 and 2023? How much money has the city of Chicago spent on migrants? $638 million. They spent $638 million on motherfuckers from Venezuela, but they can't fix these fucking roads? $638 million fucking dollars. But they can't fix these motherfucking roads. And then the fucking mayor had to take out, oh, this is cool. Then the fucking mayor had to take out a loan because he spent so much money on these motherfuckers. And fucking, he was trying to raise property taxes in Chicago, but the aldermen stopped him on that. Man, Chicago, I really hope you start voting red. Because fucking, look at the results of fucking voting blue. They spend fucking $638 million.
1,000 feet.
Million dollars.
Turn right.
That's since, I'm sorry, this is since September of 2022. So pretty much Biden's whole administration. And that fucking Jackoff mayor is he's still trying to fucking spend money on fucking the immigrants. He's trying to use that $30 million loan that they got that is only supposed to be used for fixing the roads. He's probably using that shit on that Marine base. He's probably spending that money on those immigrants over there at the Marine base. And then they're taking up all the parking spots. You can't even park there. I would hate to be a resident there. I'd be mad as hell. I can't park my car nowhere because all these Venezuelans are parking their car here. Half those motherfuckers don't even got licenses, probably. But they're parking their cars, taking up all the resident spots. I do like that Hornet, that Dodge Hornet or whatever that's over there, that old Dodge Hornet. Here, let's let Trump finish talking.
Little thing like straws, we did straws a month ago, where the paper straws were melting. They were dissolving.
Yeah, I hate paper straws. Paper straws are fucking nasty.
And we went back to the
Has anyone ever drank out of a paper straw? It like ruins the taste of whatever you're drinking, the paper straws. I like that one. Good job, President Trump.
You know it's going to be a long wash of the hands. And so we're changing. It's a big deal. I did it in the first administration.
And bring back 100-watt light bulbs too. Not that fluorescent garbage. I want those regular fucking with the little wire fucking light bulbs.
Utilities. Even in areas that have so much water, they don't know what to do with it. You see those areas all the time with the flooding. So we're doing that, and we're going to get all of the things that you've seen. I think we set a record. We're up to almost 205.
Turn left.
Rat rocket.
Nobody's ever done that. But we're going to get them approved by Congress, so they're memorialized. And we look forward to doing that. Very important. And Congress is going to start working on it as soon as we
Redmond Truth. I have 3 bent wheels due to potholes. I know. I had 2 bent rims due to potholes.
That's important.
Fucking, I bent the rim on this car due to the fucking
in a quarter
pot.
mile.
Actually, I bent the
Turn
rim
right.
twice on this car. Because this is bad, this underpass right here, and there's no avoiding it. It's from curb, wait, on the other side. This side, yeah, this side's pretty bad too.
We rate the signatures. That was a 10, that's why.
Look at this shit.
This is another executive order relating to deregulation.
Fucking brutal.
There are a lot of
Oh yeah,
regulations
keep
on
doing
the books
deregulation. We don't need more regulations.
directly, or prevent new market entrants from entering into a given market. The net effect of that is very negative for
Turn right.
consumers. So what this executive order is
Oh, this
going to
one's
do
pretty
is direct
brutal.
departments and agencies to work with the FTC, with the Attorney General, with the Department of Justice, to ensure that the
In a quarter
regulations
mile.
we have on the books
Turn left onto the ramp.
I'm getting on the highway, there's some brutal potholes I avoided.
New market entrants. The net effect of all of that is going to hopefully be market forces that go down to the benefit of consumers. And
God damn, even on the highway.
Monopolistic businesses.
I said yesterday, he was a great,
Turn left
great
onto the
student
ramp.
at Harvard before it went bad. It's gone really bad. Now they're teaching their students mathematics, basic mathematics. Can you believe it? So what does that mean? They're allowing people in that can't add 2 and 2? What's going on at Harvard?
Crazy.
I went to law school there, sir, and it was pretty liberal when I was there, but it's gone way off the deep end.
I don't know where they're teaching them basic mathematics. People that got accepted to Harvard. How come they got accepted? They don't have mathematics.
For real.
In 1.5 miles. Take the exit on the right.
You have $8 billion. And the Harvard Bank Columbia and Harvard Bank because you
like how he shows how he signs it like that.
There are a large number of regulations on the books. These are regulations that are currently in effect that we believe blatantly violate the law, blatantly violate Supreme Court precedent, and otherwise so what this presidential memorandum does basically just directs the heads of your departments and agencies to follow the law and to cease enforcing regulations that are blatantly illegal or unconstitutional.
See, Biden didn't do none of this. He explains everything he's signing.
This is the last of our deregulatory.
Hell yeah.
This is zero.
Deregulation.
The idea here is that over time, regulations accumulate on the books and in the Federal Register, and people aren't taking a close, detailed look at what's on the books and clearing them out as times change or as regulations become dated or ineffective. What this executive order is going to require
In a quarter mile, take the exit on the right.
Scrutinize on a continuing rolling basis all of the regulations they actually have on the books and sunset those that either no longer serve a purpose or the departments and agencies can't identify a specific reason for keeping them active.
Take the exit on the right.
And on the fucking highway, these fucking potholes, man, they're fucking brutal.
In a quarter mile, turn left.
So you've taken action against a number of law firms that have in one way or another been involved in the weaponization of government or actions of lawfare. One of those law firms is...
It's funny, AOC, or not AOC, whoever was trying...
Turn left.
This is an executive order that takes certain measures.
Whoever was trying to charge Trump with all those crimes, Ellen Braggs or whatever his name is, or no, the girl, Letitia James. Letitia James now is fucking, they're fucking her now. And not in a good way. They're doing them like she tried doing Trump dirty.
You strive to give your customers more.
I tried to give my viewers more.
$1 million. They went for some pretty big numbers. I guess we have a total. What did we have? What's the total about? What's the total right now, Steve? About, would you say?
Getting close to probably 600-700 million now, I would think. We've multiple at 100 million, some at 125 million. So the numbers are adding up. We're going to be close to $1 billion soon.
One at $40 million. Millions of dollars an hour. But they don't admit guilt. Remember that? They don't admit guilt. But then we have another 5 to go, I think, 5 of them. And this one is just, we're just starting the process with this one. Because there were some very bad things that happened with these law firms.
This one was very involved.
Weren't they all involved in the election? I think they were. Anyway, so they went from $40 million to $125 million. And most of them are at about...
What did Rascal Up to No Good say? What do you think of China not cooperating with us? What I think about China not cooperating with us, I think it's going to hurt them more than it's going to hurt us. Because China needs us.
The next presidential memorandum we have for you relates to Miles Taylor. You may recall that Miles
We
Taylor
give them a lot of their GDP, and I think China's already hurting. I showed that in a video from 2 days ago. They're getting stuck with a like a shitload of product that the orders are being fucking canceled for now.
What this presidential
I think China's going to eventually budge.
Going to strip any active clearance that he has in light of his past activities involving classified information. It's also going to order the Department of Justice to investigate his activities to see.
But I think China's going to ultimately have to come to the negotiation table, and if they don't, we're just going to start building shit here, hopefully.
I saw them on CNN, or one of them, I guess CNN.
I don't.
All the time.
I don't know if
saying the president is the
I don't want to keep
have no idea.
interrupting
It's like,
President
in
Trump.
this office, you have a lot of young people, and they're here. I'll see him for 2 minutes, and I assume he was in the office, but I barely remember him. It was somebody that went out and wrote a book and said all sorts of terrible things that were all lies, and it was like he was this gentleman or that gentleman, like I dealt with him all the time. I had no idea who this guy. I said, who the hell is Miles Taylor? And he made a living on going on CNN talking about the president. And I think what he did is he wrote a book anonymous, said all sorts of lies, bad things. And I think it's like a traitor. It's like spying. He walks into the office. He's supposed to be sitting here. A lot of people, I'll be here, and there'll be 20 people standing in the room. There'll be oftentimes young people in the office. I assume he was one of them at least. But I didn't know anything about him. And he wrote a book, anonymous, and I always thought it was terrible. And now we have a chance to find out whether or not it was terrible. And that it was a work of fiction. Had a lot of publicity, got himself a nice job with CNN or one of them. And I think we have to do something about it. You can't have that happen. If that happens to other presidents, it wouldn't be sustainable for other presidents. They seem to be able to sustain. But if that happened to other presidents, it's just unfair. And if it was a Democrat president, I'd say that's a terrible thing. A thing like that can happen. That's a terrible thing. And it's time to find out whether or not somebody can do that. Can they write a book about very confidential meetings, and because they happen to be one of a lot of people in a room, and they go out and write a book, and worse than that, call it anonymous, like it's a big deal, and everybody's saying, who is it? Then it was found out who he was a long time later, and he got a lot of publicity off that. It was like a promoter. But we're going to find out whether or not somebody's allowed to do that. I think it's a very important case, and I think he's guilty of treason, if you want to know the truth. But we'll find out. And I assume we're recommending this to the Department of Justice.
Yes, sir.
That big-ass marker. But see, Joe Biden didn't do none of this, fucking showing what he's doing and everything. I say Trump's extremely transparent.
Perhaps the former head of CISA. This is a man who weaponized his position.
I like that, the Gulf of America.
In the election context, in the context of COVID-19. This is a similar presidential memorandum to the one we just signed. It addresses his access to government, existing clearances he might have, and further instructs your Department of Justice, other aspects of your government.
I'm going to make a prediction. By the end of Trump's presidency, China is going to release another virus. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I think that's what they're going to do. That's just a guess. I don't have any facts on that. I'm just guessing.
Which was a rigged election, badly rigged.
Because they're going to be mad, just like Ukraine. They tried again. And it was they found out it's the Ukrainian motherfucker.
Yeah, but
Putting a hit out on my president.
Never mentioned, but I mentioned it. 42 or 43 people so badly injured, the legs, the arms blown off, the face, and it was all because of an incompetent group of people that preceded us.
Yes, it was.
Never happened. And this guy Krebs was saying, the election was great, it was cool. It's been proven that it's not only not great. When you look at all these lawyers and law firms that are signing, giving us hundreds of millions of dollars, it was proven by so many different ways and so many different forms, from the legislatures not approving to the 51
Damn, it's 70
intelligence
degrees out,
agents
got warm.
that worked, from all of the different scamming operations. It was a very corrupt election. They used COVID to cheat. And,
Yeah, they did.
We're going to find out about this guy too, because this guy's a wise guy. He said, we can prove this is the most secure
wise
election
guy.
in the history of our country. No, this was a disaster. And frankly, we should go to paper ballots, same-day voting,
I agree. Yes.
voter ID, and one
Hell
other
yeah,
thing,
voter
vote,
ID.
you should get a little
Ain't no reason you
certificate
should have an
that
ID
you're a
to go
citizen of our
vote.
country. You get a citizen, piece of paper that says you're a citizen before you can vote. But you want voter ID and you want paper ballots, and you really want same-day voting. If you don't have same-day voting, they decide to change the air conditioner. Oh, we're fixing the air conditioner. Let's move all these boxes. We'll bring them back in a few days, and then they don't bring back those boxes. We're going to have safe elections. We have to have borders. Ideally, we have to have a free press, which we don't have.
No, we don't.
We don't have a free press. We have a very dishonest press. This is an honor. We're going to find out whether or not he was right. This was a disgraceful election, and this guy sat back saying, well, I'm a member, or like he's a Republican or something, and almost right from the beginning, and he's tried to make the case that this election was a safe election. I think he said, this is the safest election we've ever had. And yet, every day you read in the papers about more and more fraud that's discovered. He's the fraud, he's a disgrace. So we'll find out whether or not it was a safe election. And if it wasn't, he's got a big price to pay. And he's a bad guy. There's another one, I have no idea who he is. Krebs. No idea who he is. I'm sure he was in the room at some point, just like you're all in the room, but I have no idea who he was, so thank you very much. Those last two are very important, I think, for the country.
Thank you, sir. Lastly, we just have 3 proclamations. These are the sorts of things that most presidents use an auto pen for. You obviously don't like
Joe
using
Biden.
an auto pen much, if at all. The first of these is National Former Prisoner of War Recognition Day. This is one that
I like
you
that.
did in I believe, each of the previous years of your previous administration. Recognizes former prisoners of war. More generally, this proclamation is written to acknowledge the great steps you've made both in this administration and the previous administration on behalf of veterans, homeless veterans, others who have suffered in that way, and basically stating that it's a priority of your administration to ensure that veterans and homeless veterans are cared for properly.
That's
And
good, they
we'll
should
find
be.
out who was using that auto pen. Because whoever that
Tim
person
Waltz isn't a veteran,
was,
he's a
he or she
fucking
was
little
like
bitch.
President of the United States, and I'm against auto pens. I think auto pens.
Oh yeah, no more auto pen. Joe Biden probably wasn't even signing the shit he was signing. He probably had his fucking wife signing the shit. Or his puppet master, Obama.
In a quarter mile, turn right.
See whether or not he can sign. But I think that should be tested. I really think that should be tested. It's another one. And you may think about it, because how can a man that, did he really know that when they gave all false information on the council, I mean, the whole unselected
Turn right.
committee of political lunatics, they destroyed all the information. You can't get any information. They went for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, screaming and ranting and raving. Democrats plus 2 worse than Democrats.
Sorry.
You had Cheney, Liz Cheney, and crying Adam Kinzinger. Crying Adam. Every time I looked at him, he was crying. The guy was a crier. But you can't do that. You just can't do that. So we're going to find out a lot. I think we're going to find out a lot. These last 3 or 4 have been very, they've been very, very
In a quarter
interesting.
mile,
We'll see what happens.
sharp left.
But I don't think a president should be allowed to use an auto pen when they're signing very, important
they shouldn't.
legislation. I think a president
They should be doing it on live TV like how he's
it.
doing it.
And we're going to find out whether or not he knew what the hell he was doing. I'm sure at this point he'll say, I signed it. They'll tell him what to say. But to
Sharp left.
give pardons
Then,
to
turn right.
people that destroyed all the information. If you destroyed information on a civil case, just a civil case, not a criminal case, a civil case, they put you in jail for that.
Yeah.
And they found out that Pelosi was the one that was in charge of the security of the Capitol. She knew all about it, and she admitted her guilt to her daughter.
National Concealed Carry Reciprocity
right.
is here, meaning that if you got yourself a valid CCW permit, every state's got to recognize it just like a driver's license. How about that? It's about time we got some good news for us law-abiding Americans who believe in our God-given right to keep and bear arms. Now let me tell
In
you,
1,000
getting your
feet,
permit has
your
never been
destination
simpler.
will be on
All
the right.
you gotta do
The whole concept of an auto pen, because auto pens are run by somebody. Whoever ran the auto pen was president of the United States. And I would be willing to bet that
Obama.
Biden didn't know, probably didn't know anything about any of it.
For real.
Very dangerous, very dangerous. So you're gonna check that out, right?
Yes,
Please?
sir. We're working on it right now.
This is just another proclamation, sir, declaring National Crime Victims' Rights Week. You've obviously made it a major priority for your administration to track down.
Your destination is on the right.
Committed violence on our streets and victimized so many people. This is an annual proclamation that hopefully gets Americans to remember that when crimes occur, there are real victims, there are real people who are affected, and there are people who suffer as a result.
Okay, it's very important. Thank you. I just want to add, so we're working very hard with Democrats, the governor, with Matt Hall, with a lot of transportation, Sean, and all of the people trying to keep Selfridge Air Force Base open, strong, thriving, and I think we're going to be successful, Governor. I think we'll be very successful there. We've gotten some good feedback from Pete Hegseth and Department of Defense.
Like, subscribe, share, hit thumbs up.
Talking about F-16.
And that's Trump
talking
making
about
America
F-35,
great
so on and
again,
so forth.
live.
We're gonna- It's a great piece of property, it's a great location,
See?
and it's a
Live.
great step. So I think we're gonna come back with a very good answer. We're also working on a certain fish that's taken over a beautiful lake called Michigan, right?
Good fish.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. It's very, do you want to just talk about that?
Sure, Mr. President. Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you for caring so much about Michigan. We've been working a long time. We
What
couldn't get
fish?
Joe Biden to do anything about either one of these issues, particularly Selfridge Air Force Base. It'll be critical to Michigan's economy and our security when you're able to deliver us another mission there. But on the Asian carp, for years.
Oh, the
when
Asian carp.
Obama was there, we could never get anyone to do anything about
Yeah,
this.
Obama's a
This
bitch, we know.
invasive species. It's going to destroy our Great Lakes. You know how important recreational fishing and so much of that is to our state. Because of your work, we're hopeful that we'll get a solution there and we'll get that barrier built so we can protect our Great Lakes. So thank you, Mr. President.
And they're very powerful fish. I mean, I see them.
Thank you, Mr.
jump out of the
President
water,
Trump.
they jump at the fishermen. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. And
Like,
has this
subscribe,
gotten
share,
into
hit
any
thumbs
of the
up.
other
Thanks for
lakes yet?
watching, yo.
Because you would think it would be pretty easy because they're all sort of connected. Governor?
It's why we're working so hard to make sure that, we work with the Army Corps and erect a barrier so that the Asian carp can't get into Lake Michigan. It'll devastate the ecosystem, the economy, tourism. It's 20% of the world's fresh waters in the Great Lakes, Mr. President, which is why it's so important that, as a nation, we protect the
We better
pristine
stop it
waters.
now.
Yep.
And, all of a sudden, I assume the lakes are all interconnected, right? So at some point, they're going to be in the other lakes. And so we're going to work hard on that. I spoke with the Army Corps of Engineers, and they have a method. It's a pretty gruesome method, but it's a method. And I think they know what to do, so we're going to work on that very hard. And thank you, Governor, very much. Sort of a bipartisan thing when you get right down to it. It's a very expensive thing, actually. Costs a lot. I looked at the numbers, I said, wow. But we have to save Lake Michigan because these fish, they eat everything in the way, including the other fish. They eat everything. Are people endangered by the fish?
I think they're going to eat all the fish there. We won't be able to fish anymore, and that's a big deal in Lake Michigan.
Oh, wow, they eat the other fish?
Fishing, recreation, so it's going to be a problem there. But you're right, it's bipartisan, sir, but you're the ones taking
Johnny,
action on these issues.
you
We
got
couldn't get Biden to do it
your
on Selfridge.
cancel,
This
conceal
thing's
and
been
carry,
delayed for,
boss?
15 years where we were trying to do it.
I'm
It started
working on
under
it.
Obama Where we were trying to do it. He wouldn't do anything about it, so we appreciate you paying so much attention to this and taking action.
Well, I
sir.
would, and the governor, in all fairness, called me about it. I had seen it, and she called me, and John James.
We're
called
working
me.
on that, Rascal Up to No Good.
Speak with your office, and it's, I want to put that down. Really is bipartisan. It's great to see it, actually. It's
He
great
needs to
see
bring it back
And
so
that
felons
is
can get
selfish.
guns.
And we're gonna get it done, and we're gonna.
Cause he's got more felons than fucking most people now.
Thank you very much.
He needs to bring back the felon's right to get guns if it was for like the type of felonies he got, or like bullshit felonies for weed or something like that.
About 70% of the time.
He needs to fix that for
All right,
them
we'll have
people
a
to be
big-
able to
we'll
get
have something to
guns.
celebrate pretty soon, so pretty sure about that, okay? Thank you, Gretchen, very much.
Well, like, subscribe, share, thumbs up. Thanks for watching.
Mr. President, where does the TikTok deal stand, given we've
Shit.
seen, the
Well,
tariffs
it's
to
moving
China?
along, but obviously, I would say right now, China's not exactly thrilled about signing it. We have a
bet
deal
they're
with
not.
some very good people, some very rich companies that would do a great job with it, but we're gonna have to wait to see what's gonna happen with China. No, it's on the table very much. I think China's gonna wanna do it, actually.
China's gonna have to do it. They're gonna have no choice soon.
Waiting for President Xi to blink. How do you think
No,
this is all
no.
going to be resolved?
But for years, we've been ripped off and taken advantage of by China and others, in all fairness. But by China, that's the big one. And it's just one of those things. You know, we're making $2 billion a day right now, this country. $2 billion a day with tariffs. And they were making $2 billion a day. We'll be making more. And now when you see what happened today, I don't know if it's still there. You know, I looked an hour ago, but we were up like close to 3,000 points. Nobody's ever seen a day like that. I think that's a record, isn't it, fellas? Definitely. Is that a record? Who would have thought we were going to have a record like that after watching? But because the geniuses of the world, they get it. Our country is very strong. We were left a very, very weakened country, both economically, financially, because of all of the tariffs and all of the other companies just raiding us and ripping us off. And also at the border where 21 million people were allowed to come in. Many of those people were criminals.
Yep.
And, but the people that do this for a living, and some of them are very smart and some of them aren't smart at all. But these guys are very smart. The whole group is very smart. The whole group.
Like, subscribe, share, thumbs up. Thanks for watching, yo. Oh. Yeah, Trump needs to fix it so felons can get guns again. Not like dangerous felons that have killed people, but like if they got a felony for marijuana, or if they got some like stupid felony like Trump's got, he needs to make it so those type of people are able to get guns again. Like, subscribe, share, thumbs up. Thanks for watching, yo.